What's up, guys? Iceman here. So first off, I'd like to thank Ryan. Bought me a coffee. Hell yeah, motherfucker! So I'm gonna get coffee crunk as fuck. Y'all can buy me a coffee if you want. Links in the description below. And here's what he had to say. Iceman, here's some vitality for you to keep making the Toad Diablo videos. Hell yeah! I'm going to be coming out with a Diablo shirt soon, so stay tuned for that shit. But hell yeah, thank you, Ryan. Love getting me some coffee crunk. Coffee crunk is fuck! To tell you guys the truth, though, I'm actually drinking some green tea right now, because coffee done fucked me up. So every once in a while, I got to go on a break, and I'm having green tea, not the Japanese maca tea. I think that's what it is. It has a maca shit, a little powder shit in it. That shit done fucked me up, man. I was so fucked up for taking that. I was at night. I was all wired and shit. I just wanted to just keep going. It was fucked up. So I'm putting that stuff aside. It's good, but this is just some cheap organic green tea. But hey, yeah! Thank you, Ryan, for your support. Is that the same Ryan who's a patron? Let me know in the comments below. It doesn't really say. It just says Ryan. I'll have to double check on the Buy Me a Coffee thing. But we got a couple rune words that have been announced. I know it's kind of old news, but I don't give a fuck. They're talking about it anyway. Because I actually really liked this item. Because it was in Project Diablo 2. The modded version of Diablo 2. And that item is known as Plague. But here's the thing, they did some weird shit to it. I don't know why they did that. Because obviously, what we did in Project Diablo 2 is we gave it to the assassin. Alright, it was a great assassin weapon. And occasionally you'd put it on a mercenary. They changed it up on it a little bit. But now we have the assassin in D2R. Now, I don't know if they want to wear Plague or not. If I were playing them, I honestly would want them to have a plague in each fucking hand. Alright, I'll show you why in just a minute here. I mean, it's just such a nice, it was such a good combination that they had in PD2 where you could dual wield the fucking plagues. I'll show you why, man. So plague, it's a nice rune word. It's relatively expensive, according to my budget anyway, because I'm broke as fuck. As usual, when I do the ladder say, I take it easy, man. I run the pit, I run the cast sanctuary. You dogs know who follow little ice boy. 20% chance to cast lower 12, lower res when struck. That's a really cool spell. I love having that proc on an item. Just one of those things where, I mean, yeah, it's not as good as a conviction aura, generally speaking, right? But if you're not quite there, 2 fucking bears and just basically requiring your merc to always use this one weapon, it's nice having other alternatives for breaking some resists. So this is awesome, and this was great to have on a trap assassin, for example. Especially before ever getting an infinity, because I'd never fucking get an infinity. You'd get hit, you cast a lower res on the motherfucker who hit you. And then your lightning traps can kill him in many cases. So you could do chaos runs. It was great. Love casting me some lower res. 25% chance to cast level 15 poison nova on striking. It was just for the visual. It just looks cool. Unless you're running a normal mode. Or hell, it even helps in the pit a little bit because it does pierce enemy poison res, which is a really nice stat. But one of the notable stats on this is the cleansing aura. Alright, and I just love that customization. I remember when they introduced auras into items initially. This is way back. It was like after 1.09 or something, where they had the rune words, right, that had the auras. I can't remember how. I think that's when it all began. They had Exile. You got the Might Aura. You got Last Wish. You got Infinity. You got the Dream Helm, the Dream Armor, all that bullshit. Just the items with the auras. And it was really cool. The Faith with Fanaticism, all this shit. I was like, wow, I can have a Paladin aura on my other character that's not a Paladin. So it just made things, it really was nice. It really made you stand out. Like, I love to be that person in town, that little toad in town, who had a fucking fanaticism aura around my Amazon. It was just awesome. But cleansing is a great utilitarian skill. I mean, shit. Cleansing reduces your poison length, right? It reduces the length in which you have the poison applied to, and it reduces curse duration. So it's very nice while doing battle runs and shit like that. Chaos runs, all sorts of things. 1-to-all skills, really nice skill, really nice stat. Some IES, which I think is new, because Plague is a rune word that was around before rune words were released. It just was never added to the game. The shit's in the files or something, but they never added it into the game. And that's why I think Path of Diablo and Project Diablo 2 were both able to access that and add it to the game. So it made things really nice. That you could kind of use an item that was intended originally to be in D2 as a rune word, but just never quite made it there. Like intended by the original developer, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, it has really cool stats. Here's one that they changed. It used to just do a bunch of demon damage, and it do no enhanced damage whatsoever, just the demon damage. So it's very niche. Now, they have it just straight across the board enhanced damage. And it's quite a bit. Now, it doesn't compare to other items in terms of its physical damage output and physical damage stats that attribute to physical damage. No, not really. To death, or to grief, or to breath of the dying. It's kind of subpar compared to those items, I think, when it comes to just pure physical damage output. Who knows what they're going to do with Grief in D2R in this upcoming patch, because Grief is just powerful as fuck. On one hand, I don't really like them nerfing shit, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to have happen to Grief. Do you want to keep that shit the same, just buff everything else? Or is this shit going to turn into Diablo 3 if they do that? Has a Deadly Strike, which is really nice. A decent amount of Deadly Strike, some open wounds, freezes target. But basically, this was a great item to use in Claws, because it can also roll 1 to 2 to all skills. So in PD2, what you would do is it really created an item chase. Like, you'd want to find those runic talons, right? The ones with the best IS breakpoint at their base. You wanted to find the runic talons with 3 to lightning traps, or 3 to lightning sentry, and 3 to death sentry. And then you wanted to make plague in that shit. And that was such a valuable item to find in of itself. Having one of those fucking runic talents and having just a really nice skill roll on it. I mean, you could barely ever even find one with 3 to lightning sentry, so you just settle. You'd find one that just gives fade, or burst of speed, or shadow master. You just find anything on that shit and make this, because the ones with 3 to lightning sentry and whatever else, shit goes for like 10 high runes or some shit. So it's just crazy, but it really adds to item depth, and it just feels like it's just never gonna end. Like, you could always work to find this item now for this assassin, because you can make plague in those fucking things. Because the benefit is, you could also roll 2 to skills on plague. So you already have 3 to lightning sentry on the fucking claw. You make plague in that shit, and it has 2 to all skills. So you have 5 to lightning sentry. Granted, you could get the magic ones with 6 in total, I think, but plague just has some very nice attributes about it. The lower res, the cleansing aura, so you could at least have 1 plague. And then maybe something else. Maybe one of those badass 6 to lightning sentry, or 3 to traps, 3 to lightning sentry, magic claws. Pretty fucking sure that shit exists. It's very expensive. But you could really mix things up. Even dual plague. I mean, the shit doesn't stack, obviously, but you just get style points. I don't really know for sure if the cleansing aura stacks. I don't think it stacks. Not that it would matter all that much anyway. If you get a 28 cleansing aura versus a 14, I mean, it would matter. But I don't think it'd be like a game-breaking thing that would make you decisively decide this is the shit you need to dual plagues. I don't know if that shit stacks. Let me know in the comments below if you dogs know if the aura stacks. Wasn't there some shit if they're like the same exact level? Like with Dream, it'll stack if it's the same exact level per aura, or maybe it wasn't Dream. It was something else. But Plague is Toad, and I would love to have me some Plague of fucking Toads in D2R coming up here. But god damn, what the fuck were they thinking? Apparently it's going to be made in swords? Are you kidding me, dog? Why the fuck would you do that? Let's make the goddamn thing in anything. Come on, dog! Let's make it whatever the fuck we want! No, I'm just fucking with you guys, but for real. That's very limiting, the fact that they put it in a fucking... They only can make it in swords? Like, before they had the whole enhanced damage added to the whole thing like they do right now in D2R, originally Plague, like I said, only did the demon damage. So it wasn't that great of a basic weapon anyway when it came to just physical damage and shit, putting it on whatever, put it on your mercenary, had to whack shit, put it on whatever character type you wanted. That wasn't all that important. In which case, it was just fine. You could make it in anything, because you really wouldn't make it in anything. You make it in the claws, right? Or occasionally you'd make it like a phase blade or something, or a colossal blade 3-socket, and put that shit on your Act 5 mercenary. You know, we're kind of what you generally make Plague in, or even a berserker axe on some weird ass fucking build. You wouldn't make it. You'd make it in a fucking claw, all right? But that's really odd how you can only make it in swords. So, I don't know. This thing, even with the enhanced damage, like I said, it's still not going to compare, I mean, to shit like Grief. If Grief doesn't get nerfed, Griefs are just so fucking godly. You make that into Phase Blade, you're still going to want Grief on a poison, a rabies droid, generally. And you're going to want Grief on, in my opinion, a Zealer, a Fanaticism, Zealot, shit like that. A Frenzy Barb. So really, it's not going to take the place of those. I mean, it'll be cool to have to experiment, I think, with a Frenzy Barb and things like that. But really, I think they should... I think there's no reason why this shouldn't be... It shouldn't be possible for this to be made in all weapon types. It really just opens things up then for experimental purposes and just the fun of the game. And I don't think it'll be overpowered, even with the enhanced damage thing being added. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Because I would love to be able to make this shit in claws. I've seen like bozos wearing Plague just fucking around, having it on switch or something, the cleansing aura, cleanse that shit off, then switch back. Just fuck around. Maybe there'll be... Shit, what if there's like poison bow skills added in D2R coming up? I have no idea. Probably not, right? But who knows? I just think... Yeah, it should be... I think it would be a great move for them to allow for us to make this in all weapon types. Even if it means taking away the enhanced damage and putting just back on the demon damage once again. But I don't know. There's probably more shit I wanted to say about this. I fucking forgot. But nonetheless, Pattern, I think, is a new one that they're adding to the upcoming season for D2R. I'm kind of excited for this season. I'm really looking forward to playing this shit. Because I really had my share in playing Classic for a while in terms of the mods, which I definitely intend to go back. So hopefully a lot of you guys have tried that out, just to know, you know, there's a lot to be had in the Diablo 2 mods. The fan community and the folks behind them, they put a lot of work into it. And these are real fucking fans here, all right, who are behind PD2 and Project Diablo 2. These are real fucking bands, all right? I'm just kind of in the mood to play some D2R because I really haven't played this shit in a while now. All things considered, seeing how long it's been released. I haven't played this shit much as of recently. And just the audio sounds really good. The smooth frame rate is very convenient. But nonetheless, this Pattern is another example, I think it's the final example, of the rune words that didn't quite make it to the final version of Diablo 2 when rune words were released. It was just a rune word made by the developers that just never got released and shit. Nothing impressive, but the thing is, it's nice to have. Like, in PD2 they released Pattern, and they actually buffed it a little bit here. It does more... they changed one of the runes in it, and it does a little bit more elemental damage, and it gives you a faster block right now. I think this can only be made in claws, but I really don't know for sure. But Pattern, it's just one of those things we were playing as an assassin. It's just nice to make. I mean, they're cheap as fuck. Tal or Thal. So you can really make this by Act 5 normal mode. And it just helps boost your resist a little bit for a physical assassin. It might be really nice to have the elemental damage, a faster block rate, just enhanced damage range. Just some convenient mods. You can even make 2 of them. You get style points for wielding 2 patterns at once. But I think it's a great move to add this shit to the game. And I really like the rune words that they've announced so far. Because, like I said, Pattern and Plague were here before. However, for Flickering Flame, this one is a new one. I really like what they did with that. Some of you mentioned how it could be on a Fire Zon. And we're thinking the Fire Zon is going to receive some love. So we'll see what they do with the Amazon. As of right now, I don't think his fire skills are up to par. Generally, you'll see a cold Amazon, or you'll see one with multi-shot and straight physical Zon. But as for the fire ones, man, I mean, I might try to run one if they do things to the fire skills. And he's going to be the best fucking Amazon on US East, or whatever the fuck these servers are called now. If little Ice Boy gets behind the keyboard and runs that shit. But Flickering Flame, and there's two more. There's Wisdom. Yeah, I think these are all really nice, and this is a cool one. And I think it's great how the community's like, well, it's not going to be as good as Faith. It's like a gray area, and that's the range that I like to see here. You know, if it was too evident, it was like, holy fuck, this thing, we're going to use this over Faith. It's got an endgame bow right here. But no, that's not the case. You know, I mean, I think overall for physical Amazon in general, I feel like I'd go with Faith over this. But I don't know, it'd be fun to experiment and try it out. But of course, then then you got to consider the elemental Zons, the cold Zons, the fire Zons, the ones I've mentioned now. And there might be some other potential with this over Faith. But even without that, just all the shit you can mix up. You can put Faith on your mercenary for that matter and wield this shit. Or put this on your mercenary and have Faith. Maybe the Act 1 mercs will have Might on them or something. I don't know. Maybe there'll be Templar's Might with Might. They'll just straight up rip that shit out of PD2. I don't know. They seem like they're kind of doing that a little bit with some of these ideas. But I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I'm really down with these rune words. Hey, yeah. Little Ice Boy down with that bullshit. But yeah, if you guys will, like the video, hit the thumbs up button. More videos to come. Looking forward to what's to come with this whole PTR thing. I'm thinking they're going to add some of the changes soon into this, so we can experiment with all the skills and shit, maybe items, I don't know. But yeah, become a patron if you want. Follow me on Discord. Discord's been great to just keeping tabs with all you dogs, to connect with you. Dane has been moderating it along with Liff. So they've been very helpful. Thank you guys for moderating my Discord, so I don't have to deal with all that bullshit. And they help with making little chat channels and all this shit. Because I really didn't know much about Discord. I still don't. And Dane streams on Twitch, so I'll link his Twitch in the description below if y'all want to follow him. I don't think Lift streams, but I mean, let me know if you do, dog. Become a patron if you guys want. Links in the description below. Appreciate y'all for supporting the Ice Toad. May your finances be blessed, and may you have many wives. Peace with you.